That was great, Andrew, and I'm sure that the folks here, participants, are eager to ask you some questions about what you're doing, and they'll have the opportunity here as part of our next panel. Right now, I would like our panel members to go to the back of the room and to see Michael. Michael, put your hand up in the corner and get your lavalier mics, and then come up and take your places on stage, and we'll get started in a minute. In the meanwhile, I have a couple other things I wanted to cover with you. One is that you probably are wondering, if I'm New York and Rhode Island, why am I sitting in the back? And why does Maine and Virgin Islands get to sit in the front? I know you're thinking this. I know you are. See, they're thinking it. The reason is that that's just how it worked alphabetically today. But tomorrow, we're going to switch them around. So if you're sitting in the back today, you may be sitting in the front tomorrow, because the first shall be last and the last shall be first, right? Okay, so we're going to swap that around. The other thing is, if you look at the other state teams, you probably noticed that all of you are from Region 1 with one exception, and that's West, by God, Virginia. Yeah, let's hear it for West Virginia. And the reason is that they've decided to mutiny. No. The reason is that Region 2, there are going to be 2 action clinics, one here and one in Atlanta after the first of the year. And Region 2 was given the option of attending the clinics in Boston or the clinic in Atlanta. So that's why they're part of our... You didn't have a choice. Someone in your state had a choice. Okay. Question that I have for you. Wait, come on, the speakers, once you get your mic, come on up and take your place. Question that I have for you is, how many folks have visited the Community of Practice website? John Ladd was talking about it today. How many, people are going like this, you visited the community website. It's an excellent site, and we are, in case you haven't discovered this, recording today's panels. Speakers, and we'll be doing it throughout the rest of the Action Clinic. And they're going to be posted directly on the COP. If at all possible, today's may be posted tomorrow morning if we can make that technology work for us. So I would encourage you to do that. Another item, and this maybe we'll ask you to come up. You notice we have 2 microphones set up here in the center aisle that for any time when we go into question and answer periods, we would encourage you to come up and ask a question, share your story, etc. But we had a couple of tours this morning and a pre-apprenticeship action clinic. I'm curious, people who went on the IBEW tour, the Apprenticeship Training Center, any reactions to that? How did that go? What did you think of the center? Do we have a volunteer out there, someone who went? Okay, we get this gentleman who's going to. Can we get the mic hot here, please? Try again.
Hello?
Oh, you're hot now.
Thank you. I was very impressed with the site itself and what they're doing in terms of the wind technology they're adopting, but I thought that there would be more description of what they're doing with internships, and somehow that didn't happen. We were focusing more on the new technology, using the wind in order to power the facility. So probably next time it would be a good thing for there to be more information about the actual internship application that they're using. That's my perspective.
Okay, thank you. It's just good feedback. If there's some specific questions that you have, we can have those answered and get back to you through your facilitators, to your team. So if you do have some comments like that and you would like more information, let us know. Well, I think our panel's wired here, and we're ready to move on with our discussion. And as I said, you will have an opportunity after the panel here to ask questions of Andrew and the other panelists when we're finished. Now, the topic here is why the public, business, and labor demand that we work together. Obviously, the theme here is collaboration again. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. Something that we've been seeing an increasing emphasis placed on for the last 30 years. Now, I know some of you in the room go back as far as I do with the workforce and the apprenticeship system. And you know that this whole move toward partnerships started at the tail end of CETA, the Comprehensive Employment and Training Act. The very end of it, when they started involving other partners, started involving the private sector. And then it escalated during the Job Training Partnership Act, and private industry councils were created, and labor was given a seat at the table. And then it increased again when we went to the Workforce Investment Act. And of course, over the years, those of you who are writing grant applications, and I'm sure that's probably all of you, have had to respond many times to the question of what partner organizations are you involving? How are your partners going to be involved? Requirements to bring various partners to the table. And it's basically because of a recognition that we can't do this on our own. We really can't do it in isolation, that it takes multiple partnerships and multiple organizations in partnership to accomplish our goals and objectives as a system. Years ago, I worked for a woman, Marion Pines, who some of you might know, who is a real leader in the whole field of workforce and development. But she used to have a saying she was very fond of, and she'd repeat this from conference to conference. She'd say, the best definition of collaboration is that it's an unnatural act between consenting adults. And the point is that it's hard work. It's hard work. So our panel's going to be talking now about what they're doing, giving us their perspectives on collaboration. And I'm going to start off here. I'm going to get down off the stage. You might need to bring my mic down a little bit back there. I'm going to come down off the stage and direct questions here to the panel. First, I'd like you to go through. Can I ask you just to take a minute to just introduce yourself, just say a little something about yourself. We'll go right on through to get started.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bruce Herman, Deputy Commissioner of Labor for Workforce Development for New York State. Pleasure to be here. Got to be away from the speaker. Should I move it?
Get interference over here? Okay.
Hi.
My name is Phoebe Riles, and I'm an apprentice carpenter with the United Brotherhood of Carpenters Local 40, and I'm happy to be here.
Good afternoon. My name is Sharon Curry, and I am with the Community and Technical College System of West Virginia, and I coordinate adult learning initiatives.
Hello, I'm John Healy. I'm president of the Building Trade Training Directors Association of Massachusetts, and I'm also the training director for the Sheet Metal Workers Local 17 in Boston.
Oh, I'm Andrew Cortez still, and I'm still the director of Building Futures, comprehensive pre-apprenticeship-based initiative around the construction sector.
Okay, great. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to ask each of you to go through and spend, 5 minutes or more talking a little bit about your perspective on registered apprenticeship and the need for collaboration, giving us maybe some examples of how you have collaborated with other partners to make things work. Why don't we get started with Sharon Curry?
Okay. Like I said, I'm with the Community and Technical College System of West Virginia, and we have a collaboration with West Virginia Building and Construction Trades, the Department of Labor, and other business and industry. We've come together, we have developed together, collaborative effort of course, an associate and a science degree in occupational development. We've worked with the apprenticeship people, and one of the things is it has to have a registered apprenticeship. There's 3 components. That would be the general education component, the registered apprenticeship, and then the on-the-job training. hard to talk without hands. We have worked in several areas. We can work with, we've worked with the painters, we have worked with the carpenters, which we have some in the audience, and we are just working with, it's an occupational development in their specific trade. So we have to work with industry and building and trades to find out exactly what it is that they need. We give them academic credit for the apprenticeship program, and also for the on-the-job training. They can receive up to 42 credit hours, depending on what all they've participated in and the many hours that they have completed. We then give them the general curriculum from the community college side. We also help periodically with the academic training for the registered apprenticeship, really just depending on what the need is. With the building and trades, they already have a really good training program. Sometimes with business and industry, they may need a little bit of help with what we're doing, and we help them with whatever it is. Like I said, we really have to customize it to what that industry is needing at that particular time. We have 10 community and technical colleges throughout the state. We go from rural to urban to really, really rural. With those people, it's a challenge sometimes to even find the jobs, for building and for construction trades or for the apprenticeships at all. But having that background really helps them to find the job better, because the business is already involved. The curriculum is there from the community and college system. So that's one of the ways that we do work with them.
Thank you, Sharon. How about Bruce Herman?
Hi again, folks. Bruce Herman, Deputy Commissioner of Labor for New York State, and one of my responsibilities is to oversee the state's apprenticeship system. And in New York State, we have a very well-rooted system, one that has been producing quality employment opportunities for New Yorkers for a long time, one deeply rooted in many of our communities, and we're interested in expanding it as we go forward. We're focused on 3 areas of activity in our state. One is to expand registered apprenticeship into new and emerging trades. Another, to fund opportunities to strengthen the relationship between community colleges and the entrepreneurship and the apprenticeship programs, and to improve existing apprenticeship efforts. In those areas, let me just cover quickly a few of the things that we're up to. In terms of expanding apprenticeship programs into new and emerging trades, it's important to connect apprenticeship opportunities to the priority sectors already identified by our state. Those are advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and green. Many of the competency models that have been created and shared through our competency model clearinghouse, for example, in hospitality, in hotel, in lodging, in advanced manufacturing, in bioscience, mechatronics, can serve as roadmaps to developing new trades. So the importance of competency-based or blended time and competency-based system. To position individuals for ongoing career developments in the 21st century workforce, it's important that apprenticeship for new and emerging occupations be designed to result in education credentials, another very important component going forward, in addition to certification of completion. Establishing trade and training outlines that can be viewed as a career ladder or pathway, so that apprentices can decide if the next rung on the ladder is their goal. For example, apprenticeship programs are long-term training programs resulting in skilled journeyed workers. We propose that apprenticeship parallel the education system, where some people get off the ladder at the associate's degree level, for example, while others move on to achieve bachelor's, master's, or doctorate levels. This type of interface between formal education and the apprenticeship system is very important in our opinion. Funding opportunities to strengthen the relationship between community colleges and the apprenticeship program, another very important area of work. Nationally, community colleges are the largest part of the higher education system, as I think we all know, with more than 6 million students. And they feature affordable tuition, open admission policies, a number of attributes that make them more readily accessible to larger numbers of individuals. In New York State, we are fortunate to have 25 community colleges, and many of these campuses have satellite locations